DIGIVATION Network.
The internet has fast become the biggest economy in the world. Today, businesses and nations take advantage of the World Wide Web, that is the WWW, to leverage their comparative advantages. The .ng domain name is important for Nigeria to play actively on the cyberspace as a unique identity.
This is DIGIVATION Network.
I am Bayero Agabi, and welcome to DIGIVATION Network. As you may know, DIGIVATION reflects the dynamics in our ever-changing and busy world, where consumers crave to be in charge by exploring the best and latest information using the latest technology that helps them put their businesses on the fast lane and have limitless fun never before. Again, you're warmly welcome.
This is DIGIVATION Network.
Stay with us, but first, issues and development that made news in the past 1 week.
The COVID-19 pandemic has disrupted the normal ways of living and transacting business, socially, economically, and politically, which has now made us to realize that Nigeria cannot continue to rely on the traditional means of livelihood, which predominantly is the revenue from the sale of the volatile crude oil. To salvage the situation, the Association of Telecommunications Companies of Nigeria, ATCON, rallied the private and public sector players to explore ways of urgent collaboration from both the public to jumpstart the diversification and emergence of digitization of the Nigerian economy. Speaker after speaker, which included DG, NIDA, EVC, NCC, and other top players, share their views.
It seems like Nigeria, we have projected something is going to happen. If you look at the recent government initiatives on how to promote digital economy. Therefore, looking at this, the minister directed all MDAs, especially NIDA. When we found ourselves in this crisis, he directed us that we should come up with sustainability plan after the crisis. As we all know, a lot of things are going to change, or we are not going to go back to our normal life, even if we overcome this pandemic.
When you talk about, therefore, digital transformation, it is nothing but a process of social and economic transformation that is leveraging the power of information and communications technology to accelerate the process. And all of a sudden, we are in the process of this digital transformation, and then in the process, we encountered this challenge, the challenge of COVID-19 pandemic. And this is a challenge that is still with us, that is taking toll on various facets of the economy. Global economy, Nigeria is no exception, but this is happening all over the world.
The private sector players called for government at all levels to encourage telecom and ICT infrastructure development in their respective states by encouraging rapid investment through incentives such as tax, holiday, and provision of special intervention funds for the sector.
To push for the buy-in of governments at all levels to encourage telecom and ICT infrastructure development in their respective states by encouraging rapid investment through incentives such as tax holidays, provision of special incentive funds for the sector by the Central Bank of Nigeria. The Honorable Minister in recent times has matched his words with actions by getting the President of our country the approval for the security of all telecommunications infrastructure nationwide, though we hope to get more clarity on if this means the executive order on CNI is still expected considering this approval.
Globally, the edge is now the future of telecom. The infrastructures are being deployed and implemented in the edge. For better quality of service, better content delivery, you want to be as close enough to the end users as possible. And what I'm noticing is a lot of effort is still not being put towards building edge infrastructure, which is really at the end of the day, whether we like it or not, that is what is going to drive the economy, drive all these things we are talking about.
Technology-driven startups aren't just contributing to economic growth. In many ways, they are economic growth. The Global Startup Ecosystem Report, GSER, explores how startups are revitalizing traditional industry sectors through the application of technology. In Nigeria, the National Information Technology Development Agency, NIDA, has been leading the charge to help the nation's quest for new disruptive ideas, solutions, and services.
The idea of building IT hubs and innovation and incubation hubs is to strengthen our ecosystem. If you remember from inception, this government of President Muhammadu Buhari, GCFR, has been talking about economic diversification. So we look at it, Nigeria, we have very high level of entrepreneurial skills, because based on the GEM, Global Entrepreneurship Monitor Report, Nigeria is leading the world in terms of ability to start and grow business in entrepreneurship. More than 90% of Nigerian adults think they have entrepreneurship skills, or they believe they can start business on their own. So we are trying to harness this capability to make Nigeria a startup so that people can create jobs for themselves.
From health to finance, education to security, agriculture to transportation, Nigerian youths have shown their ingenuity to create world-class solutions and businesses.
In order for us to make sure that startups, that's the technology entrepreneurs, have an enabling environment, and we also create a sustainable ecosystem, the approach we took is to start up a policy recommendation document. It's called the National ICT Innovation and Entrepreneurship Vision. It gives recommendations based on the main components of a technology ecosystem. That's infrastructure, funding, culture, research and development, and all the other ingredients that make a thriving technology ecosystem. So based on this event that we have, we conduct policy hackathons, we send out questionnaires asking them how we can make their businesses better. And as a result of that, we got responses saying that how we can make it better is to give them, make sure they have access to market, make sure that they have access to internet, is to make sure that they have pioneer status where tax is being reduced. They don't have to pay the tax at the early stage of their businesses. They have tax reliefs and things like that.
NIDA has provided different platforms to help incubate, mentor, and facilitate fundings and best business practices for the startups.
NIDA has supported us extensively through exposure to trainings, through events and a lot of other things. So NIDA has been doing this for a long time, and we are one of the startups that I would say benefited immensely from NIDA.
Really had a lot of support in business development, not just business development of knowing what is a do's and don'ts in business, but also the structure, roadmap of how to build a successful startup in the 21st century. And this includes the do's and the don'ts, this includes strategies, this includes different forms of innovation that must be embedded into a business in the 21st century for it to be able to achieve success.
NIDA has been helpful to us as a business and in fact individuals trying to start up a business, and they've exposed us to investors. They've exposed us to a network of other budding entrepreneurs like us who are solving solutions, solving problems in the African space.
This is a great opportunity. I think people with a lot of ideas will be encouraged to put out what they think is a solution to like the problems we have in this country and to our developmental problem to some extent in terms of in the ICT sector. And I will say kudos to them, and I think they should extend it to other sectors, because there are so many sectors that need an intervention like this in Nigeria.
Given the vibrancy the Nigerian startup sector is now witnessing under the coordination of NIDA, many youths are now creating employment and making entrepreneurship a delight.
Remember that I want marry. She dey come my house today. I'm gonna tell her to marry me.
Remember what I taught you about playing music from the internet?
I'm gonna play romantic music for her. The phone remains small, make it done. Will you marry me? I have a surprise for you. Google, play me a romantic music. Everything is okay, network is shaky. Google, play me a romantic music. Google, play me a romantic music.
Maybe I should go.
Don't let poor internet ruin special moments. Join the super fast and reliable 4G network and get double data.
Now in the watch.
Hello, I am Bayero Agabi, welcoming you to this new ride, a digital ride that takes you into the lifestyle experience of innovation, tech impact, and new business frontiers. This is DIGIVATION Network. On a weekly basis, we keep you well informed of developments and trends. Now the tech ecosystem is impacting politics, business, public and private enterprise management, plus how the new digital life can transform your business. I am Bayero Agabi. Join us.
This is DIGIVATION Network.
On this segment this week, we feature Nicodemo, an African online distribution platform for online cartoons with a vision to showcase and promote Africa's culture and language to the world, as well as create a market for African cartoons.
Can you share with us what Nicodemo is all about?
Nicodemo is an education-based startup that produces educational cartoons for kids in Nigeria. Our aim is to make learning affordable, accessible, and fun. So so our cartoons are we reach out to these children that watch the cartoon. They watch them on TV. We currently have about 2 million children watching our cartoons online. We also have our educational that we sell to parents. So parents buy these tablets, and the tablets are preloaded with educational cartoons that teaches various subjects. It also comes with games, educational game, and so we currently just added a new product that is for this COVID-19. So it's all school education. And it comes with quizzes, CBT, and everything. So if you have the tablet, you basically have everything you need. You don't need to depend on the internet connection and cost of data from it. So that is what we have currently.
NIDA has put together various programs, pitching programs, and startup clinics for all startups. In what way will you say attending one of these programs has affected and has impact on your startup?
I think I've been why, because true to what they say, we've been approved by so many companies that we apply within a couple of months. They see Nigerian startups and they really want to help, and they really helped my business. They really helped our startup when we were coming up. They put us with seed funding. They gave us some little capital to set up, which we use in creating the products we have today. They also assisted us with training and mentorship. And they also exposed us to the market. They sponsored us to Dubai, to meet investors. So these are things that startups need, to help them grow. And they still followed up with us. They did not just leave us there, till now. Leaders still communicate, ask how you do, what support do you need, in which areas can we help. And even we recently collaborated with NIDA in the last program for children.
To what extent has NIDA's support helped with your startup projection?
We launched the company in 2016. Nicodemo was officially launched in 2016, and I think it was 2017 that we got the funding, the mentorship, and the training from NIDA. So those were like the early years of the company, and those times are very, very important. When you're starting something, very important. That's when you need the most support. Before you stand on your feet. So we got the necessary training, access to market, investors, and all of that, courtesy of NIDA, which were very, very important in the formative stages of our business. So if we didn't get those, I'm not sure if Nicodemo will still be existing till now, because many companies, they die in the first 5 years of business. So it's very important to have people or an agency or someone that's there to see you through all those difficult times. And they're still with us till now. Like, they still check up on us, they still ask us how far, what do you need, how is your business, how are you coping during this COVID-19, what support can we provide. Those are the kind of the things that motivate us to do more. So we know that when we are not left alone, we know that, okay, we have a government that truly supports his people.
Wow, such an insight into your journey. Thank you so much for joining us.
Name implies, ITIS means IT Infrastructure Solutions. It is the department responsible for the development of technical details and specifications of all IT intervention in the agency. As you know, NIDA is established to, one of the critical mandates is to develop IT in the country. And it does that through deployment of IT infrastructure across the country. And for IT being dynamic, the infrastructure deployed by the regulatory agency have to be up to standard. It has to be up to date. It has to be reliable. It has to be something that will be used for the needs that have been identified. And with that understanding, the IT Infrastructure Solutions Department takes that very seriously. And it ensures that whatever infrastructure is to be deployed is it is up to date. It should meet all those requirements that we have identified. And so we do that through consultation with relevant industry stakeholders. We have all relevant documentation in terms of catalog, in terms of access to resources, up-to-date resources that we use to be able to develop the specifications and details for each of the infrastructure that is deployed across the country. On our part, the National Information Technology Development Agency as well, learning from what the ministry is doing, we just recently, you may recall that on the 29th of April, the Honorable Minister of Communications and Digital Economy commissioned the NIDA Academy, as well as launched the NIDA Academy virtual training program that ensures the development of capacity in 3 different categories. One for the civil and public servants, and the second category for students, the third category for the general public. Now, these programs are specifically designed to build those capacities. As I said earlier on, for our government digital transformation, we need people with requisite skills to be able to do that. And for the digital economy, we need people with requisite skills. We need to be able to build the capacity of everybody so that we can compete effectively and favorably, not only for our needs, to meet our needs, but to meet the needs of our neighboring countries in Africa, as well as the entire world. So that is what that program is about. Software development is very key. It has really matured. Our software industry in Nigeria has matured. We have solutions that compete favorably with, in the international markets. We have particularly, the banking sector in particular. We have solutions that are competing favorably, with all the known names that across the world. And to some extent, even our software sector at the moment, the industry is attracting foreign direct investment, to some extent. However, it's not good enough. We have software solutions that are being deployed not only in Nigeria, but outside Nigeria. Not only in African countries, but in Europe and America. So our software industry has matured. The challenge we have is the local patronage in the software. That needs to be improved upon. In terms of IT training schemes, we have a number of IT training, IT capacity building schemes that we have that are targeted at artisans, security agencies, MDAs, and of course the agency, because the agency is very critical. Staff of the agency are critical because they are the drivers. We cannot be able to achieve what our mandate sets out to do without people with requisite capacity. So we have a number of capacity building schemes that we have put in place to be able to do. Just to give you a number of examples, we have what we call digital literacy skills for artisans that we've been executing for quite some time. Digital literacy for artisans. And then we have computer and mobile phone repair also for artisans that we've done. And, for the digital literacy, we've trained so far over 1,500 artisans. And for the computer and mobile repair, we've trained over 1,250 beneficiaries so far.
He's Africa's Digital Hall of Famer, Africa's only 2 times UNESCO Awards winner, over a decade and a half experience reporting and advocating ICT development in Africa. Bayero Agabi has traversed the world like no other broadcast journalist. Catch up with him on DIGIVATION Network, Africa's leading enterprise and innovation show on television. Don't miss it.
This is DIGIVATION Network.
That is the show for the week. If you have any comment or suggestions, please send them to bayeroagabi@gmail.com, or better still, you can text the number on your screen. Until then, I remain yours sincerely, Bayero Agabi. Peace.